Whoop! I just realized that my microphone was off. I'm gonna cut this part of the video, so don't worry about that. I'm gonna start it over right now. What's up, everyone? Hope you're having an awesome Monday, and welcome back to the Monday live stream where we talk about the crypto trading signals, what's coming up, and reviewing some of our watch list, some of the things that have been on our watch list. So if you guys don't know already, my name is Alex Winkler, trader investor since 2011. And some of you guys might also know me from TradeJournal, the free Google Sheets template. If you have not already checked it out, just go to tradejournal.co, that's .co, and you will see everything that you need to find there. There is a new monthly Google Trade Journal and template, and it's pretty cool. There's a video about it as well on this channel. Let's dive right into things. So let me quickly move over my screen and then just go to the zoomed in version. So if you go to crypto.enzlo.com, I make the posts so you can see basically the text version of these videos all the time. It might be quicker for some people. We basically review everything that we review during these live streams. So hopefully it's convenient for everyone. Let's just dive right into things. So we're going to be talking about, the ones we always talk about: Bitcoin, Litecoin. And then we're also going to be throwing in some other alts like XRP, ZRX, Matic, Pivx, and REN. So a few new tickers, things that have been on our watch list last week. Some things that I just kind of want to talk about a little bit. And I'm referring to this watch list all the time. And if you guys don't know already, every morning I post a watch list, well, 5 times a week. So every business day, it's about, anywhere from 6 to 12 minutes long. This one today from the Monday morning watch list, October 14th, was little lisp right there, was 9 minutes and 35 seconds. And then we just kind of talk about, some of the trends, what we're doing, what I review some of my last trades and all that fun stuff. If you're interested in that, just check out the crypto.enzlo site. And right now you can get grandfathered in for $27 a month. So let's just dive into the charts. Bitcoin right now is doing some pretty cool stuff. And let me quickly go back to the BTC chart. Let me pick the right one. So we'll start with the daily. Let me let everything load right now. And obviously, let's just get you guys back up to speed. Or if, especially if you guys are seeing this for the first time, we've been in this descending triangle pattern for months, and we finally broke to the downside of it, which was, exactly what we were planning. I removed some of our white drawings. Basically, we had an arrow going down here, seeing some support in this area, and then a pullback in this area. The reason I went ahead and removed it is because we're kind of seeing something a little different here, and I want to kind of just focus on it a little bit. So what we're seeing right now with the BTC USD shorts, BTC just USD price on Coinbase right now, and just generally overall on all exchanges, is we're seeing this little ascending channel forming. And if you guys know anything about ascending channels, they typically break to the downside, just like descending channels break to the upside, ascending channels break to the downside. Basically, we are having higher highs and then higher lows, and you think you're seeing a little upwards trend going on right here. But in reality, the volume is dying off. People are starting to get out of their positions, selling into the highs, and before you know it, the buying momentum dries up. So in ascending channel, there's constant, upward buying pressure. People are going, the price is going up and up and up gradually, but then the volume's dying out, and eventually new volume comes in, and that's just the sellers taking over. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had somewhat of a little dip from this area. A lot of times with these ascending channels, you'll have a little break to the downside, you'll have a little bounce back up here, some consolidation, and then a continued sell-off. Now, I don't really see Bitcoin selling off that much, to be honest with you. I feel like personally, there's just so much mid to long-term interest into Bitcoin. There's just some overextended price action right now. So, a little continuation, a little bit of sell-off wouldn't really hurt, and I'm totally not against it. But I really don't know if we're going to be cracking much lower than these support levels. If I wouldn't be totally surprised if we reach $7,000, but I don't really see us going, to 6,000 or anything like that. Sometimes, there's the old adage where the breakdown from a lot of these patterns is the same as the move into the pattern, and that would give us something like this move right here, and then we just kind of move this 1 second, sorry, I'm grabbing everything wrong in the chart. Basically, we have our dump from here, and then this is the low right around here, 7,700, and this is where we can draw our little trend line, and then we take this trend line and we move it over here to this ascending channel, and that would give us a low right below $7,000. So, you know, maybe we'll see a little bounce below $7,000, and then just so much buying, so many buyers coming into that area. I mean, personally, to me, if Bitcoin reached under $7,000 and we saw it into the $6,000 territory, I would be jumping on that like an animal. So, you know, we average into Bitcoin all the time, every week on Tuesday. But, you know, a pattern like this, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little selling pressure. One thing to consider quickly that I always like to talk about is if, let me get my head out of the way, if we do break down, but we're not really seeing that much volume, right? You want to see big volume to confirm breakdown, and then the price kind of just starts dwelling in this area. I would also be going long in that area because a lot of times if there's not a really strong breakdown, it's basically confirmation that this pattern is invalid and there's just a lot of buyers. Some really cool day trading that you could have done in this area is when you identified that there is an ascending channel happening, especially right here when we broke back above the line and bounced back to it. That's my favorite time to enter, is, you know, enter on some of these levels where there's support. You know, that could be a 7% trade. If you're really risque, you could have, you know, even got on towards the bottom, double-digit gains. But, you know, that's really like perfect entry and exits. And we're not looking for perfect entry and exits. We're just looking to trade between very clear support and resistance areas, and that's how we're able to become consistently profitable. So, you know, that's kind of what I'm looking for Bitcoin. Let's make these other ones a little quicker. I just, you know, there's a lot of things I want to talk about in Bitcoin. So the other ones, I'll just go as quick as possible. What's up, Money Ninja? I'm happy you joined us for today. Thanks. That's a really nice comment. I've been following this guy for a while now. Would trust him more than God. Wow. Well, as long as you're always doing your own research before you're buying and selling, but I appreciate the kind words. That's always very, very nice of you. Okay, let's dive into the, 1 second here. Let me try to get my head out of the way again. All right, so let's dive into the next chart. One thing I wanted to talk about was XRP. And the reason I want to talk about XRP is because it has been rallying so much more than a lot of these other altcoins. And it's just incredible. It's honestly over 35%. Okay, just about 35%. I thought I saw a little bit more. Yeah, so that's pretty nice gains. And that's obviously if you bought at the perfect bottom and you're selling right now. You know, that's not what we're looking for. What we are looking for are these perfect breakouts. And then to me, I like breakout bounces. I don't trade breakouts. To me, I buy breakouts. I always buy a fake out and then I get screwed. I don't buy breakouts. What I do is I notice that here's big resistance. See how the price didn't get past this point, bounce back down, and then we're kind of consolidating in this area a little bit. Then big volume came in and we broke out to the upside, boom, 10%, 9-10%, and then we hit resistance and then the price started selling off. What do I like doing all the time that I preach day and night, and I talk about this every morning in my morning watch list video, is we have a pullback typically to where we broke out of, where new resistance, where former resistance is new support. What happened? We bounced back here to these lines, and then we had a nice little 8% rally. Unfortunately, I did not get this one. I am fully allocated right now on 2 swing trades, Litecoin and EOS. So I did not get this trade. I definitely would have wanted to do it. I had so many alerts going off. You could just see my, this weekend was just alert central. So many things going off. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't do any of those trades. And of course, the 2 swing trades that I'm in are just not moving whatsoever. So that's also typical trading. I'm unfortunately just a little bit over allocated right now. So that really sucks. You know, I basically went all into 2 positions a little bit too early, and I didn't leave enough cash on the side to where I would want to enter more positions, especially like this XRP's trade. And guys, remember, you know, we drew these lines go way back. We drew these lines all the way over here. Support and resistance hold true again and again and again. The blue lines are long-term support and resistance. Let me not keep rambling. ZRX, another one I wanted to look at. ZRX is really cool. How can I find it right now? It should be coming up right here. Sorry guys, I am on looking through my watch list right now, and usually it's right under Mana. ZEC, that's not it. Wait, hold on. Ah, there it is. Okay, I got it mixed up. This one's just beautiful. So this is also on Coinbase, and you know, I couldn't really tell you much about the project. I don't really look at projects all the time. A lot of my swing trades, I'll look into projects a bit more, but I'm a very technical trader. I just look at technicals. I identify support and resistance areas. I don't really use too many indicators. Sometimes I use the RSI to identify potential reversals, but even then, I would rather just use support and resistance and volume. To me, that's really all you need, just price and volume, and then find some key support and resistance areas within that. That's really everything you really need to know. Looks like we had a little bit of buffering right now, but we're back to excellent connection. So keep a close eye on that. Make sure we are having no issues. Okay, where was I? Yeah, so ZRX broke out super nicely, big volume right here, past this former resistance level and long-term resistance level, and bounced off of it again beautifully. So look at this breakout, right? And then a bounce back here, 8% pullback, 9% pullback, and then a rally from there, 20% already. I mean, these are all just phenomenal areas to get into trades. And a lot of times so there's a magnifying glass on this one, and the reason there's a magnifying glass on this one is, let me just open the morning watch list video, and this is something we do every morning together. We go through some of the biggest gainers and losers, right? And then we'll talk about, you know, why we might want to put some of these gainers and losers on our watch list. And what I like to look for is volume. I like to look for things, you know, over 5 million volume. Sometimes I'll look even at 2 million, and then, you know, depending on which exchange it's at, what the price action is doing, then we'll go ahead and add that to our watch list. I don't really look for anything below that, simply because liquidity is so important and oftentimes extremely underestimated. So you think, oh, you know, $75,000 is right here. Surely, I don't know what that is, SUR, I'm gonna go ahead and trade that. You know, I'm only trading with $1,000 or $500 or maybe even $100, and you know, that's fine. I don't need a lot of volume. Well, this volume is already a total of all the exchanges, right? So you have to consider that. So whatever exchange you're trading on is only a fraction of that overall total volume. Sometimes some of the exchanges there's only one exchange and it's 100% of the volume, but just keep that in mind. And then sometimes there's a massive spread. What was the spread? It's basically the difference between the bid and the ask. So the ask is what the sellers are asking for. They want you to buy what they're selling at that price. They're asking for the price. The bid is what the buyers are bidding for. The bid is basically, you know, I'm willing to buy this at, I don't know, $1, maybe 70, right? And the ask is, who knows, maybe this is the ask right here. So just remember, you know, all of a sudden, one trade is like a 10% move, and you don't want to be in illiquid stocks, or, you know, in this case, crypto. So just really avoid some of these smaller caps. You'll eventually, you know, do smaller caps if you want, in terms of, you know, bad liquidity. You might make some good ones, but one day you're going to get stuck in a really bad trade. And I would personally just avoid that. There's 3 more that I want to talk about. I'm going to go as quick as possible. And remember, guys, if you have any questions, just leave them in the chat as well. Matic is a pretty cool one. This one was put on our watch list last week as well. I think on Thursday, if I remember correctly. It's all the way down here. And this one, the reason I like this one a lot, it's kind of like an REN. We're going to check out REN a little bit later. So this is the daily chart. I mean, you guys, I mean, tell me why I like it. I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I would like some of you guys just to honestly answer this question. I mean, why is this one so awesomely moving my head? And, you know, just think for a second, you know, think about what I'm probably about to say. And I think it's pretty obvious. So the price was selling off down here, right? And we finally, we broke past some of these former support levels and just kind of completely shattered past them, all the way down to here where we had this nice support level. And then we had this really nice rally, and then we continued selling pressure, had another bounce off of it. All these bounces could have been tradable, but we weren't trading this. We weren't trading Matic at this time. This looks just like Link somehow. But then, you know, Then we had one of these bounces to the upside, constantly got rejected down here, but we were seeing some really nice support forming in this area. This was 40 days of support, so long time. And then we finally broke out to the upside above this resistance area with big volume. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're always looking for big volume. And what happened? We broke out and then we pulled back down to the support level, and then we had a really nice bounce, initial bounce here at 11%, and now again another bounce. And who knows what's going to happen at this point? Maybe the rally continues, maybe not. It really depends a lot on the project, a lot of the hype behind it. Maybe there's a promotion going behind it. Maybe somebody's pumping this crypto. I don't really know, and I don't really care, to be honest with you. What I look for are these first bounces, right? And this could have been an incredible bounce. Even this one, 5% right here. Another one. 10% plus. You could have maybe even sold into the spike, or you really believe fundamentally in this project, and then you look for a really longer term move. Anything is fine. It really depends what you're looking for. It's all about what you're trying to get into. What I like to just simply identify is the fact that this is in a bullish trend now. So there was constant selling pressure, there was constant downward momentum. Then we found some sort of low, built a first stair, and now we're breaking out to the upside. We had that first breakout bounce, and now I wouldn't be surprised if we just continued this little rally. So we had a nice little run here, now we had a little bounce, and now there's going to be a secondary rally, most likely. Probably see some big resistance in this area, and then who knows, we might have another pullback, and then a secondary run maybe into here, and then who knows, we might start doing stair steppers and then eventually go exponential. I don't know, that's just complete speculation, but these are things you could start really looking for in these areas where we're starting to go into a bull market. And this is one of those first big signs. Big volume, breaking out of a long-term former resistance area. That's just super bullish. So I really like how this one's performing. And honestly, I might just have to deposit a little bit more into my crypto accounts, because these are just some really nice moves coming up here. Ideally, I would like to just reallocate my portfolio a little bit. These last 2 weeks have been super kind of lame in terms of trading on my end, simply because I'm over allocated right now into 2 positions. I haven't done this all year. And it's just kind of like the weirdest 2 weeks, and I'm a little disappointed in myself, but that happens. Sometimes you do stuff like that. Okay, let's talk about these 2 more. This one's going to be really fast. PIVX. I feel like I said about everything I'm about to do, and then I start rambling. This is something I really want you guys to watch out on. Yeah, we had some really nice support come in here. The bounces are great, but if you just constantly zoom out on this chart, this is what we call in the stock trading world, or in the crypto world as well too. But I learned from my mentor like 6 years ago. He called this chart pattern the crow, and this pattern is basically, just think about a carcass laying on the side of the road, and just a crow or a vulture or something picking at it. And that's really what you're seeing here. You're seeing a lot of people that bought way too high, and now they're holding a bag. If you don't know what the holding a bag expression is, it's basically when you buy a stock or a cryptocurrency, and you buy all these shares or coins, right? And you're like, oh, I have so many coins, let me put them all into a bag. And you're just holding this bag of coins, right? But then the valuation of that stock or that crypto just keeps on going down. And before you know it, 6 months, a year later, 2 years later, you're holding the most valuable thing you're holding is just the bag itself, because the stuff inside of it is complete garbage. So that's what it is. That's what it's referred to, holding a bag. And this honestly is really, to me, something that would be referred to as holding a bag. All these little failed breakouts have just been constantly being rejected. Rejection, all over here. So there's really no breakout or spike that's long-lived. Yeah, there's maybe a little reversal here, and yeah, sometimes you get some major gains. I mean, 84, 87%, that's huge gains, especially with nice volume, probably fairly liquid. So these moves can be really nice, and they can lead to some really amazing day trading and potentially even swing trading, but you got to be super careful. And this is why, we preach cutting losses, because this is one of those things that before you know it might be valued at 1/10 of a penny, and you are just, you might have, 100,000 shares, but they're all just worthless. So you just got to really watch out with something like this. This just keeps getting rejected. And I wouldn't really be blindly buying this. Again, I don't really know what this company does, and I don't really care. Let's just talk about one more, and this last one is very, very similar to the Matic and kind of also Linkcoin as well. Again, this is when we identified it. We saw big breakout to the upside. All these chart patterns are so similar right now. Big resistance right here. That was original support. That original support was original resistance, guys. I'm not making this stuff up. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Just big resistance here. Again, resistance here. Finally, we broke out from the resistance. Big bounces. I love these first day bounces. 40%. I mean, this is really just kind of ridiculously huge. 100% bounce right here. And then we came back down it. No more bouncing going on. You got to be very careful. When the bounces are weak on support levels, especially on that first touch, get out of there and run. That is dangerous territory. Eventually came back down here, resistance in this area, and then we came back up to it, and then we came in with volume broken above it, and then would have been the nice area again. Big breakout, bounce, getting something like that, 20%. I mean, super nice. I probably would have never held it into 20%. I probably would have waited 5 to 10%. If I was swing trading it, I probably would have been a little bit more lenient and probably try to do 15% or something like that. Or I would have done this more as a real month-long swing trade and waited for something like that, or just hold a very small allocation of my overall trade to this. But I typically really like those very quick 5, 10, 15, 20% moves. Sometimes if the market conditions are right and overall favorable, and we look like we might be in a several month-long bullish rally, I'll hold a bit longer. But especially in a bear market, I'm taking my profits super quick. Right now my day trading average is 1.7% when I take my profits. So just put that in perspective. I take my profits super quick. Yeah, I think that's just about everything that I wanted to talk about. Remember, guys, if you don't make these live streams, you can email me at any time at alex@enzlo.com and let me know if you want me to review a specific crypto. I won't dive too much into the fundamentals, although I do that sometimes, especially if I'm looking to hold a little bit longer. But on average, I like to get in and out, and I look for technicals, and I just look for volume and liquidity, and that's really what it's pretty straightforward. It takes a while till you figure out what works for you and find out what your style is with trading, and that's really what I try to focus on with everyone in my course is how to find your style. I try to show a little bit of everything, and then you guys can pick and choose and kind of build your own strategy out of that. And that's why I have this course and I have these watch lists, so you guys can see what I do, what works for me, and then construct something that works for you, because everyone's going to be different. I'm extremely busy, and I try to be able to trade on the fly. So if I know I'm going to be traveling all next week, I really only dedicate that 30 minutes in the morning to building my watch list, and then I'll go to stocks, and then I'll focus on stocks for a little bit. But that way, I'm not really in front of the screen in terms of trading that much anymore. Sometimes, especially during the bear market, I was trading a lot. I was doing a lot of day trading. I was doing a lot of scalping, and it was pretty great. But I don't really have the time for that right now. So I'm really focusing on a trading strategy that really allows me to focus on the rest of my company and all my other projects. So it's phenomenal. And yeah, I hope that you guys are able to construct your own trading strategy or just replicate mine. I've been working on it for years now, so it's something that works for me, and I think it will work actually for most people because it's very, very simple. All right, let's see if there's anything else to talk about. Nope, that's everything. Remember, guys, if you want to learn more, just go to crypto.enzlo.com or enzlo.com. You'll find everything you need to know. All right, guys, have a great Monday, start of the week. Stay safe, guys. Make some awesome trades, and I will see you then next time for another Monday live stream and a future YouTube video. All right, guys, till next time. Ciao, ciao.